Back live in Philadelphia, I'm Brent Musburger with Roger Staubach and Terry Bradshaw. And Roger, an unbelievable first half.
Oh, it really is. The things that make a coach gray, the unpredictable things happened in the Jets game with the fumble on the kickoff. In this game, 2 critical turnovers by Wally Henry. One early in the game that set up the touchdown, and then later on to make it 20-0, the fumble in the end zone. So those have been the critical things. You can't predict them, but that's been the difference in the game.
What about the young quarterback, Scott Bruner?
All we've heard is defense, 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 slow scoring. Scott Bruner come out. I think he probably has shocked our viewing audience and everyone here today, except his teammates and certainly himself. His stock has risen. 3 TD passes in a playoff game is great for him and his football team. They're leading 27-7.
His daddy, of course, an assistant coach on the Detroit Lions. He has to be awfully proud right now. And I'll tell you a man who is absolutely stunned, and that would be our Irv Cross. Irv, what has happened to the Eagles?
Brent, I wish I knew what happened to the Eagles. Of course, Dick Vermeil's in the locker room now trying to get things squared away. But as far as the injury situation is concerned, before I comment on the first half, Steve Kinney has a banged-up ankle and knee. They don't know how bad it is. He may or may not return in the second half. But the thing I like most about what the Giants have done today, I was behind their bench in the first quarter, and Jennings turned over to me. He said, Rob Carpenter has been so much in our offense. The guy makes a lot of big plays. We believe in ourselves. And boy, indeed, they do.
All right, Irv, thank you so much. That, of course, in my opinion, was the trade of the year when the Giants picked up Carpenter from Houston. They actually stole him from that organization. Now, the first game that Roger alluded to, that was a dandy in Shea Stadium. It was the Bills against the Jets. Now, Roger told you that on the opening kickoff in Shea Stadium, there was a turnover, and it meant that the Jets had to dig out from under the hole all game long. You'll see it right here. Bruce Harper will cough it up, and Charles Romes recovers it for the Bills, dashes in, and they lead it 7-0. Now watch Joe Ferguson, because he lit up the scoreboard with this wide receiver right here, Frank Lewis. He hit him on 2 long scoring passes, and the Bills led at this point 14-0. Then they built the lead to 24-0, and finally the Jets got on the board. Richard Todd to Mickey Schuler. Schuler played a whale of a football game, and suddenly it was 24-7. This would turn out to be the winning touchdown of the game. It looked like frosting at the time. Joe Cribbs got loose, 45 yards, 31-13, and then a heroic rally on the part of the Jets, but they simply ran out of time, and Bill Simpson, the former veteran from the Rams, made the interception. And of course, I tell you, Roger and Terry, he has to be so happy because he was burned last year out in San Diego. He gave up a big reception and they were eliminated. So a tough game, and the Bills prevailed.
That was a good interception. He made one earlier in the game when he snuck up. He a sneaky play where he intercepted the pass early to stop a touchdown. And of course, that one was a big play of the game.
Do you give the Bills any chance down in Cincinnati now, Terry?
I got to say, Cincinnati looks good. It'll be a good game, but I think the Bengals are going to be the team to beat.
All right, and the NFL today will continue on CBS after these messages from your local stations. Just as Roger Staubach said, coaches get gray hairs because of those turnovers. Wally Henry fumbling away a punt, and Roger, that gave the Giants their first scoring opportunity.
Well, they did, Brent. They took advantage of it. That's the sign of a team that's hungry. Right here, they had the 2 wide receivers inside. They kind of picked Jerry Robinson. Bright caught the touchdown pass wide open. Excellent design play against man-to-man defense on the goal line.
You know, Terry, I think I was more impressed with the second one because Bruner had to drive the Giants against a very tough Eagle defense.
Yeah, he did. And then the big catch in the end zone, just it was a good catch there. Again, they caught him in man defense with an outside technique. The guy gets inside and Bruner hits him quick. There you are, touchdown.
And of course, you notice that Dick Vermeil, late in the first half, he took Wally Henry out and he ran John Shara in there to field punts for him. And it came because of still another turnover, this one on a kickoff return by Henry. And the Giants, well, the difference is when Rod Carpenter fumbled, he was able to get control. But here on this kickoff, Raj, it'll go for a touchdown.
Well, you know, teams remember history. Last year they got behind against Minnesota 14-0, so I'm sure they felt they were in the game. But this really made them wonder right here. This was a big play. Henry couldn't grab it. They recovered it in the end zone. Now the Eagles definitely were wondering what was going to go wrong next, and they, of course, are in trouble right now.
They did get a turnover, and they finally got on the scoreboard, and it was a play, Terry, that I just don't think anybody can stop in this league. You just run Harold Carmichael into the middle.
Well, you only do that against certain zones, and they got a strong safety coming up supporting, and they got Carmichael by. They hit it earlier on a second down play action pass for about 25 yards, so they got down in scoring. The Giants gave him a strong safety zone, and he hit him again for the 6. It's a good play. The only way you can stop that is maybe go in and out on him, and I don't know if they'll do it.
Well, I don't either. So Ron Jaworski got that touchdown pass. They got on the board. Then the Giants drive back, and they score again. Now, here's the touchdown pass that Roger was talking about.
Quick shot.
Carmichael in for the 6. And, gentlemen, taking a look ahead now at the second half. Roger, I don't think the Eagles can come back against this defense.
Well,
Too
Brent,
tough.
I tell you, the touchdown the Giants got right after that play, the Eagles got back in the game somewhat 20-7, but they drove the football down. Carpenter ran well. Bruner hit the big touchdown to Malati, and, of course, that made a big difference. And I think they're going to have a tough time coming back, and it might be all over for the Eagles.
Will Jaworski keep his head up? Terry?
He's got to. Right now, he's down. He's got to believe some way or another. He's got to rally that team around him. It can be done, but he's going to have to prove to everyone that he's the guy that can call the shots and pull the plays off. It's up to him. He's got to do it. There's no tomorrow if he doesn't.
Okay. And, of course, we are approaching a very big year in sports here at CBS. 1982. We're going to have something for everyone as we go on the road again, starting right now. And, of course, what a pleasure it is now to have Roger and Terry on the road with us as we go to Dallas for Tampa Bay, San Francisco for the winner of this game. Still got a second half to go, though. And let's go upstairs now to Pat Summerall and John Madden. Pat?
Indeed, we do have a second half to go, and if it's anything like the first one, all of us are going to be shocked again, I guess. And, John, what do you think the Eagles have to do to get back into this contest?
Well, I think the big thing, of course, Scott Bruner has thrown for 3 touchdown passes, but I think the big thing has been the running of Rob Carpenter. He's gained 77 yards, and they really haven't stopped that giant running yet. So I think they have to stop that and then make something happen, get the ball back, and just think in terms of 1 touchdown.
It seems to me, as we watch the two teams, both the Eagles and the Giants, that perhaps the Giants have a little bit more confidence, a little bit more enthusiasm. A veteran team like the Eagles, you wouldn't think would appear to be frustrated, but that's indeed what they appear to be to us.
They do seem to be frustrated, and as you say, you know, the Giants are a young team, and they have a lot of rookies in there, and maybe they don't know any better. You know, they don't seem to feel any of these pressures, and it looks like maybe the Eagles do feel a little of it.
John, quickly, you've been in the playoffs so many times. How does it feel when you got a thing in your grasp like this?
Well, I'll tell you, it feels great, but you don't want to start thinking about it until the end of that game.
You don't want to play slow down, do you?
No.
So anyway, right now, the situation is this. Surprisingly, the Giants broke on top and just almost blew the game apart. They lead 27-7.